Hi there, this is another video following my last video about the delay, Space Echo style delay. As you may be able to see here, I've got the first stage or the first head of my delay circuit here with all the filtering and everything. The feedback and the delay time there is seen. This is the second head or the second delay, as you can see with the delay time here and the feedback here, and this is the third head, tape head, third part of the delay with the delay control there and the feedback there. The mix control that usually comes in these sort of circuits I've set to 100%. I've not used a trim pot because I've run out of trim pots basically. I've run out of components really. I had to buy some more resistors because I've run out of resistors. As you can see, it's extremely packed, the board, extremely packed. There's not any room left really. This is the input output op amp here, which is still currently a 5532, and this op amp is a summing op amp, so the outputs from each of these heads are all going to a summing op amp or a mixer op amp. So all three outputs from these circuits are going into a single op amp, which is then in the path to this input output op amp, going to the output. So basically you can hear all three heads with the respective delay times for each. So I've set this first one to a relatively short delay time, the middle one for a slightly longer delay time, and the last one for the longest delay time, and that is to do with the head spacing on the Space Echo, because this is the way it normally is. The feedbacks are not really set up much, so anyway, here's my supply. There we are. It's taking 57 milliamps. Guitar. So as you can hear, there's three delays there. What I was going to do as well, I was going to, where they're coming into the summing amp, the three outputs, what I was going to do is take those three outputs and put them into a logic gate with a FET attached to it, so that I can switch off via a toggle switch or a push button each individual tape head or delay part, just like you can on a Space Echo. I could either put it on a rotary switch to select this one on its own, or this one on its own, or this one on its own, 1, 2 or 3 on their own, or like the Space Echo, in the fourth position you've got the first head and the second head together, and then the fifth position you've got the second head and the third head together, and then the last position you've got all three heads together. I could put all that on a rotary switch, which I'm thinking of, but I might actually go through the logic route, so that you have some push buttons, so that and with a LED above the push button, so when you push the push button for channel 1, just that will go. Then you depress it, press 2, just 2 on its own, depress it, 3, just 3 on its own, and then you can have a combination of 1 and 2 just by pressing the push buttons, if you see what I mean. But I'm going to have to study up a bit on logic, because I spent a long time on this chip here, which is a 74HT8C74, and I couldn't get that to work as I wanted it to for some reason. So I'm going to have to spend more time on that, and if I can do that, I could also switch the heads in with some 555s, because they connect as soft latching switches as well. So I could do that, but I'd have to use probably 3 555 chips, which is a bit of a waste when you consider that I would only have to probably use one piece of logic chip to do the same thing. So I'm going to be doing that as well, but I really haven't got any more room on this board at all to work, so this at the moment is it really. So if I strum this, turn the repeat rate up here on the first head, then if I move this time, you can hear, hopefully. Let's turn up a tiny bit more. So you can hear that one. Turn that down a bit. The second one. There's the second head. So, and this is the third head here. A bit high. Let's turn this up a bit here. Don't know if you could hear that, hopefully you could. See? So there we go. I've just proved that all three heads have got an output. They're all controllable with the delay time, the feedback rate. The mix output is 100%, and that is going through resistors on the output, capacitors and resistors going to the summation amplifier, which is between the input of the op amp, which is where the input comes in, and then in between the input part and the output part, output channel, you have this summation amp in the middle. So yeah, so this is a success. As I say, I think I might make a logic circuit in order to be able to switch heads 1, 2 and 3 off and on, and combine the heads. But this basically works, and it's basically it. But if I do make this and put it in a box, the box is not going to be one of these little pedals, because there's no way that all of this stuff will fit in there. 3 PT chips, 2 dual op amps and all these components, there's no chance. Plus a logic chip if I can get this to work, which I'm going to endeavour to do. Also modulation, I haven't got modulation even on this, and I reckon that I would go for a 555 modulator, which you've seen in a last video, and try and make it more of a sine wave. And apparently I can make the output of the 555 chip more of a sine shape, with an inductor and a capacitor circuit, an LC circuit. I haven't got any inductors at the moment, so I have to buy some in and work out what inductor I need. But this is quite, as you can see, this is quite a massive project really. But I could produce a box with 3 delays in it, or 3 heads, with wow and flutter that can be modified as well, maybe by pots. I'm gonna also, what I'm going to try and do is unify all of these feedback circuits here into one, so that I just have one feedback pot which applies to all the heads, which that would be what it would be like in a proper space echo, because you don't have individual feedbacks for, or intensity control, that's what it's called, individual intensities for the individual heads. You just have one for the whole lot. So I'm going to work out how you do that, probably through some sort of summation circuit as well. And yeah, anyway, I thought I'd show you the progress so far. Hopefully you found this interesting, and it's inspired you maybe to make your own digital delay as well, because it's really good fun. Thanks very much for watching.